Well, good day, folks, and here we are again at Noel's Garden Tractors and Firewood. And we're going to do a little something here in the garage today. Not sure if it's going to be musical tractors or not, or at least some tractors are going to get musical. And we don't know who the leader of the band is going to be for today. I'm going to show you around here a couple of little things before we get to the weather. So it seems I have a light that's gone kafooey on me. See all the black on the further light there, so it's got to get changed, I guess. So started acting up yesterday. And it's kind of strange with these lights sometimes, and it hasn't done it lately. This one and that one over by the door, when you turn the lights on, they don't come on. So you shut them off, you turn them on, and you flip them a few times, and on they come eventually. And then they'll go for months that they work. So it's kind of strange. Like I say, everything in this garage seems to be odd or strange at times. So, yeah, I got to get up there. I do have some new bulbs over there, just up on the rack up top there, just above Dave's favorite tractor cab there. So I'm going to see if I can switch them today, or switch one of them anyway. You know, I've been here 32 years and I haven't put a whole lot of light bulbs in, actually. I was thinking of that yesterday, maybe. You know, there's 8, 12, 16, there's 20 bulbs in here, all told. So I don't think I have put in 32 years, maybe, I would say less than a dozen bulbs in and had them at a time. Anyway. Yeah, so what am I going to do here? I'll show you outside, and I'll show you the weather, and I'll show you what's going on today. Little fan is going. And, yeah, so the bluey is still down. It's still got the belt twisted, so I'm not even looking forward to looking at that. And the case is still down. It's got to get a pulley broke on it. And if you can see the tire over on the bench over there, the tire's got to go on Dave's favorite tractor. We still didn't get that back on yet. So that's today's project. We're going to have a little chat about the tire that was flat, and I'm also going to chat about the spindle there. Joseph from Garden Tractor Boy and I were kind of talking about those and lately, and he is into making parts for his tractors, so we got on the subject of that, and I had mentioned that I had made that spindle. So I'm just going to kind of show, if I can, because of the dirt on it, but if I can show, I'll show where it broke. And well, my son and I made that spindle many years ago now. I'm kind of surprised that it's still on the go. I do have a brand new spindle in over there somewhere. So if it does go, I have a new one. So, and no doubt we would probably make another one for a spare, because you wouldn't be able to buy that part today for this tractor. And what else am I thinking of? So anyway, this Mr. John Deere's got to go outside with his new shiny new studs in the back tires. So we're going to have to see how that fares out over time. So that's got to go out so I can get that spindle to work at it. And like I say, I had thought about doing musical tractors because Louie's got to go over where the Massey Ferguson is, then get turned around, I think, so I can get at both sides to work at it. It's difficult to work at it on both sides in there, so. So I'm just going to kind of show, if I can, because of the dirt on it, but if I can show, I'll show where it broke. So Massey Ferguson is going to sit where Kablooey is sitting, and the Kablooey is going to go over and sit over there. So in order to do that, I got to get the John Deere out. So I may do that today, and I may not. So that's what the musical tractors is about. And the band leader for the musical tractors, if all that happens, is Kablooey. All right, so we get on to the other things here. We're getting too long into rambling and going on foolish here. So it was supposed to snow last night and get 5 centimeters, but it didn't. So now they're saying it's supposed to snow a bit today, I guess, so 5 centimeters, which it is doing at the moment. And I think the temperature is around 0 degrees Celsius at the moment. So now we'll have a look at that and see. I don't know if the computer is warmed up yet or not. Let's have a look and see if the computer is warmed up. Oh, yes, okay. Oh, I got to get to the updated one here. Update one. Oh, there you can see Gator's works. Yeah. Go check out Gator. Oh, there's another thing. If I can find it here. I guess I might need a flashlight. And you can see that down there, or not. Probably not. Anyway, let's try the other side maybe. Let's look right here, let's say. It's not easy to see either. Okay. Anyway, these tires are Gator tires. That's that way. So you see the Gator? And then the Gator is on the tire, and it's upside down, I think. Yeah, right there. You might be able to see it there. So I've got Gator tires here. They're for ATVs, I guess. So. All right, boy, we're getting into the foolishness here today. Yeah, we get some things updated here. Still cold, I guess. Not wanting to do anything. It'll take a minute, I guess. Okay, there we go. Oh, I guess it's -1 today. Now look at that. They're saying it's supposed to get to 0. Well, they're saying periods of snow, but it's only 3 snowflakes, so periods of snow and 3 snowflakes. Chance of flurries and 4 snowflakes. I don't know how they figured that out. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, 0 today, and -8 tomorrow, Wednesday, -11 on Thursday, -10 on Friday, and sun. Saturday, February 1st, -8 and some sun. Groundhog Day, February 2nd. Maybe sun and maybe clouds, so that'll put the mixing onto the groundhogs. -9. And we get a January thaw in February at +3 and snow and rain. So there you go, look at that. And I didn't change to the Fahrenheit, yeah. Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Fahrenheit. West-southwest winds at 6 miles an hour, so it's nice and calm out. All right, we'll stop her at that for now, and I'll get back to you once I get the musical or park musical tractors going. All right, we're back from lunch now, and we're going to get the John Deere and set it outside, and we can work on Dave's favorite tractor. There now. I'll be back to you in a minute. All right, I guess we got stuff set up here now, so we'll have a little chat here about the tire, and I'm going to have a chat about that spindle there. And I'm going to get the studio light on. Boy, isn't that fancy equipment, boys, there, that. All right, we'll turn that on, see how that goes. Ooh, boy, happens. Anyway. Yeah, so last week I had a flat. I had this out. Dave's favorite tractor was out blowing some snow. And, well, I always check the gas and oil, so I have to lift up that engine bonnet to do that. And I always stand on this side and did what I had to do, and I did not notice that that tire was low at that point. So I went out and did all the snow blowing and whatever, and come back in and put the tractor away and all that kind of stuff. And whatever I did, I come over and looked for something, or looked at something, and noticed that the tire was half flat. I said, well, that's kind of odd. I must have got into something out there, so anyway, I didn't want to get at doing anything with it, so I just left it for the next day. The next day I came in, it was still only half flat. So I thought, that's kind of strange. You'd think it would be flat. Anyway, so then I figured, well, and I don't know what else I figured, and I did. But I put air in it and filled it up and left it overnight. And then the next day, it was flat right on the ground. Everything was out of it. So I figured, well, there we go. So we'll have a look at it. So I got it off the tractor. And me figuring that there was something in the tire, but I did have in the back of my mind that maybe the stem was bad or leaking. Anyway, I looked all over the tire and I couldn't find anything that way. So I put air in it and I put a little bit of soap and water on the stem here with the cap off. Sure enough, it was leaking there. And it was leaking between the tire or the tube stem and the wheel, which is normal when you have a flat and you fill it up. It's got to push the air out from in between the tube and the tire. Anyway, that didn't really I didn't think that was a problem because I couldn't see anything in the tire, so that's what I kind of figured, that it was just air in between the tire and the tube getting squished out. Anyway, so I took the stem out and I cleaned it all up. I opened the spring on it to open the valve in it, and I sprayed a bit of oil in there, and I sprayed some oil in the stem, and sprayed some oil on the threads of the stem, and cleaned up the seat and put it back in. Put air in it. Checked it for leaks, and there wasn't any, so I left it. And I forget now if I set it to a certain poundage or what I did, but I rechecked it the next day, and it hadn't lost any pressure, so I figured, well, that must have been what the cause was. So I rechecked it again a day later, and it still had air in it, so I figured, well, that must have been what it was. So now we're going to put it back on so that we can use this tractor if we had to, because we're down 3 tractors. Dave's favorite tractor was down. Kablooey is down, and the case is down. So the only one that was holding the fort here was the John Deere. So luckily it didn't break, or we haven't had any snow. So all right, so now I want to get at the spindle. So Garden Tractor Boy and I, Joseph, he and his father are making parts for their Boland's Ridomatics there. That's really quite neat to see that somebody could make parts for a tractor that you can't get parts for. That's really something, I think. And years ago, Joseph calls these, I think this part that goes up through, I think he calls that a stub axle. I call it a spindle. And in the old trucks and stuff of years ago, it used to be called a kingpin in this area. Anyway, so years ago, this spindle broke. Not this one, but one broke. Of course, didn't have one, so we had to make one. So my son and I made this one. And me figuring that it would break not too far afterwards, that I did go to the Ford dealer, and I was able to get a new spindle for there, which you wouldn't be able to get today, because this was quite a while ago that I did that. Maybe at least 15 years probably. Anyway, I have it on hand so that when this one breaks, I thought I'll have one and be able to fix it. So that's been in there for years and hasn't broke. So anyway, the other one broke from let's see now, from your steering box here, pushing this way and pulling that way. So this was going this way and that way. And then it was trying to turn this wheel this way and that way. Then going over to the other side, the right side of the tractor, and trying to push that wheel, this way and that way. So I'm guessing that it was probably never changed before. And what had happened was it broke right off. You can't see it in here because of all of the goo and stuff here. But that rod twisted off right in there from it going like this, trying to turn the spindle back and forth. And I was thinking yesterday that I should have that piece somewhere, because I don't throw nothing out. But I really can't think of where I would have it. Just to show you how it looked where it broke. Anyway, in in here, or in, let's say, a rod like that, and you kept one bottom of it solid and the top you were turning like this, and you did that for a million times, the thing twists somewhere, and it just basically like a circle. It just started at the outside and it just comes right into the center. The only thing that was holding it at the end was about 1/8 of an inch, and then it broke off. So it's amazing how pressure on stuff will break things. And we've had trouble here. You can see this set up here. I believe I have this threaded all the way through, this and this, because we've had trouble with that before. We've had trouble with this drag link. I think if I could get in there, I would say there's a piece welded onto that, because it broke off. I think at the other end, I think it broke right off right there. It was the same thing on this on the other end. It broke right off there because it's narrowed down and unthreaded there. So that's the weak point. So it's welded up. The steering box is broken twice. So there you go. There's a lot of pressure on these heavy old tractors. Having that on the front of it. And this tractor had a snow blower on the front of it, like what Kablooey has, which is even heavier than this snow thrower. So there's a lot of pressure and twisting going on there. And that's why, part of the reason why I got those tires. Because you get less rubber on the ground for friction to turn, and you can keep them reasonably hard, and it does make it easier to steer. And anyway, the steering systems in these tractors are not quite heavy enough for what they're designed for to do. Anyway, that's just the way it is. So there's my little chat on that part there. I'm hoping that Joseph will see this video and kind of get as to what I was talking about when he and I were having a chat about this stuff. Anyway, you should go and have a look at Joseph's videos. I think the last 2 videos that he did was making parts for the Boland's Ridomatics. And boy, they sure do a nice job of making parts, them fellas. Anyhow, that's going to be it for now. I'll get the wheel back on here and grease her all up. I got the stuff there to put it back on. Just left it where it was when I took it apart. And that's going to be it for that. So I still got to change my light down there. And I'm not sure if I'm going to move that, do the musical tractors today or not. I might and I might not. Anyway, have a great day wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. And we shall catch you again on another one.